Hi you all. Sorry if you happened to pop on there a second ago. I accidentally hit the button while I was trying to set my camera up. I don't know if any of you all do Facebook Live very much, but it can be a little bit of a challenge when you're working with a camera stand and all kinds of stuff like that to figure out the best way to go about it. So, I've got us all set up here today. Let me make sure that this has come on the way it's supposed to. It looks like it. Refresh my page here on my tablet so I can share this with some other pages. Waiting for my page to refresh so I can see what you all see. Here I am. So I got us all set up over here today. Hello sister, I see you. Oh, you and mom are watching, huh? Okay. So I'm just going to share these on my pages like I normally do. Post on my page. Now I'm going to share on my group pages. I'm sorry, it's so quiet. So I've got a couple of projects today, but the very first one I'm going to do is our bathroom etiquette project. I'm actually going to make it pretty close to what it shows in the catalog. Just wanted to show you guys that you don't have to be like super crafty and coming up with your own like unique design ideas to make things look really cool. Sorry, I've got so many groups on here, they're all separated. This will work for now. Okay, let me set this over here and then we'll get going. Cool. You guys are kind of out of focus there, aren't you? Let me see if I can focus it in a little bit better. There we go. I don't know what the deal is with that. Okay, so my name's Suzanne Martin and I am the Chalk-a-lot lady and I'm with Chalk Couture. And Chalk Couture makes vinyl silkscreen adhesive transfers, chalk paste, which is like a thick chalk paint that's meant to be used with our transfers, and chalk inks, which work just like paste except you heat set them and they become permanent. And also we have a lot of accessories and we have several different kinds of boards and surfaces. Just really quickly, I will show you some of our surfaces. This is a box frame. This is our 5x7 box frame. And today I'll be working with this small box frame and I'll also be working with some larger box frames. This is one of our Aiden chalkboards. This is a higher quality board. It's a powder coated steel and it's magnetic. It also has this really nice ornate frame that's been roughed up a little, or made to look roughed up a little bit to kind of fit in with the rustic chic style that's popular right now. This board is one of our more expensive boards. Let's see, I also have one of our less expensive boutique boards. And this one is non-magnetic, and as you can see, the frame is not quite as ornate as the other, but it still has the like fancy rustic appearance to it, a little roughed up here. And these can all be hung on the wall or however you want to use them. And these are different transfers I've used. This is a combination of vintage truck and our fall add-on transfer, and the other one that I just showed was our pumpkin spice transfer. So those are some of the surfaces that we have. We also have like tote bags and cosmetic bags and things like that. So this is what our transfers look like. This is just one of our small ones. Everywhere you see a white space is a silk screen. I do not know why this keeps going out of focus. Let me see if I can fix this up here a little bit. I'm working on it, guys. I don't know what's up with my phone today. I guess it's because I'm moving things around too much. There, that's better. Maybe it'll refocus again in a second. Hi Cynthia, how are you? So anyway, these are silkscreen transfers. They are adhesive. It's like a sticker. It's on a backing. This part is sticky. You can probably see a little bit of fuzz on mine because I've used this one more than once. And then we have lots of squeegees and accessories, these types of things like this. These are pieces that I've cut squeegees apart, get smaller ones. This is our angled squeegee. This is our new small squeegee. Here is one of our multi-tools that you can use either end as a squeegee, or you can use it as a stirrer, or I like to use it as like when I'm doing a large transfer and I'm using a lot of one color, I'll just get a glob of paste on the end of this and just kind of smear it all around, and then I'll use my larger squeegee to spread it out where it needs to go. So we're going to get started today with our bathroom etiquette transfer, and I'll show you what this one looks like. Move all this over here out of the way. So this is part of it. I knew that my screen's not wide enough to catch the whole thing, I don't think. So it says soak, relax, unwind, comb your hair, and here's some of the pieces that go with that. Oh, you can't see it all. Well, that's good. I'm a little delayed from what you guys see, so I'm watching my screen so I can make sure that I'm like showing you what you need to see. So here's the comb, a bathtub, a sink, and here's the other piece of this. I cut some of it apart just so I could show it to you, but this all actually comes in one large piece. Pretty sure it came like this. Wherever the uneven cut lines are, that's how it came. I think it was the other way, but anyway, this is how it comes, all one giant piece like this. And so I cut it all apart, and I'm going to cut the rest of it right now. I'm actually not going to use the bathtub. I only bought 3 of the box frames to use because my bathtub is not in the same area where my husband and I both get ready. And I thought that, I don't know, I could always buy another one and add it if I wanted to. So I'm just going to cut these apart and put the soak one off to the side and the tub off to the side. And you can do these however you want to, but I'll show you guys the picture that they have in the catalog, and then you can kind of see like how simple it is to just mimic what they did. Because all the supplies you need we sell with Chalk Couture. And so I'll go ahead and throw this out here. Here's our catalog. These are our paste and ink colors and a lot of our stuff. If you are a designer, you get a free monthly transfer. So on this page, these pages here are monthly transfers. This was August, September, and then we have, you know, October, November. This is the one I'm waiting on this month. They send them about a month and a half ahead of time so that we have, we're able to use them and show them before they go for sale. And these are limited time ones. They don't continue to restock these. So once they sell out, you're pretty much out of luck on those. Here's what I'm going for today. That's why I bought 3 boards. I wanted to make it just like this. So we're doing comb your hair, wash your hands, and brush your teeth. And I'm going to make them pretty much the exact same way that they have them on here. And just so you guys can see, you don't need to be creative to use our products and make cool stuff. They already have it in here for you. You can make it exactly the way that they show it. And it's literally a board. Actually, they used frames for this, but they made our boards. And I like these better because I like that rustic vibe that comes along with these. So here's the board. And they used black paste, and that's it. So you need a surface and you need your black paste, and you can make some cool designs with this transfer. And they're reusable transfers, so you can use these 8 to 12 times, and sometimes more. If you take good care of your transfers, keeping them clean after you're finished using them, a lot of times you can use them even longer than that, which is really awesome. And so this is a brand new transfer. I've had it for a little while, but I've never even taken it out of the package before. So just cutting it apart real quick here, and then we'll get started on our project. So today I'm using the black on this project, and then the next one is the Have Courage transfer that I just showed you a second ago, this one right here, that I'll be using second. I'm doing a craft show in a couple of months, and so I thought, you know what, if I'm going to be making these, I might as well show people how to do it while I'm making stuff for my craft show. So it's a Christmas craft show, but people aren't just going to want to buy Christmas stuff. They're going to want to buy like gifts and home decor as well that they can use all year round. So I'm making some Christmas stuff and some regular home decor. Okay, so let me put my little board aside here and move this piece. So I think the first one that I'm going to do is, Let's do brush your teeth. We'll do that one first. Sorry, I just took these out of the package and there's a little bit of like debris from the packaging that's on your cardboard and stuff. So I'm going to turn this way. And then the first one I'm going to do is the brush your teeth. So I've got my toothbrush here. And I've got my brush your teeth symbol here. So I kind of like the idea of having my words above my sign. So I think what I'm gonna do is put my toothbrush at a little bit of an angle, maybe like this, and then keep my words up here. And just to make sure that they're staying in place, I'm just gonna use the frame as my guideline with my transfer, and then I'll have to just square it up on the sides and it should be good. So I think like that would probably look pretty good. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so before you get started, using our transfers, you have to do what's called fuzzing the transfer. And I'm literally picking up fuzz off of this towel onto the transfer. Make sure you guys can see it all real good. So I'm going to remove the transfer from the backing. And then before I do anything else, I'm going to write on the back of this to make sure that I know which transfer goes back on which sticky thing, because some of them look the same size but they're not exactly, and it won't line up right after I'm done. So I'm just writing brush on the back of this so I know which one it goes to. One side is a little bit of a matte finish and one side is a glossy finish, so I want to make sure that I'm putting it on the glossy side here. Okay, now I'm just going to pick up fuzz on my transfer here. I'm going to do this probably 3 to 4 times for each transfer, and that way it won't stick so hard to the, I want it to peel up fairly easy, but I want it to seal well enough around the edges so that I can not get bubbling under the edge of my design. But if it sticks too hard and you try to pull it up, you can stretch your transfer and it actually just can make it harder to lay down next time, and you'll get bubbling no matter what you do, and it's just a little more difficult that way. So we'll see. I'm trying to focuses the camera correctly. I'm sorry if it's getting out of focus there. I think me moving around so much and having it so close to my project is messing things up. Wow, now it switched camera view. That's great. Now you guys get to stare at my ceiling for a little while. I don't even know how it did that. Alright. And somebody just came to my door, you guys. This is a mess today. Nobody ever comes here in the middle of the day. Now I'm busy and somebody just rang the doorbell. Okay. My husband's here, so you'll hear him talking in a second too. So I'm just going to lay this down on here. It looks like I squared it up pretty good, like first try, which is unusual. When I say squared it up, I mean from side to side. And I'm using this as my guideline here, so I don't need to worry about top to bottom. In our transfers, on their pages, they have cut lines, so you know where to cut. And the cut lines almost always have the design squared in the middle of it, so you don't have to worry as much about how you're going to place it and make it even. We do, however, have a tape. It's an adhesive tape, kind of like painter's tape. It pulls up easily. It has little check marks on it to help you line things up if you have multiple things that you want to get straight. It's great when you're using our fonts because each letter is individual. Alright, so I have this one on here, and I think because I'm going to be putting my toothbrush down, we'll see how I'm going to lay this down here. I might be able to lay them down at the same time, which would speed things along, I think. So I'm going to fuzz this transfer, just pick up this fuzz on here. Yeah, I know, I'm looking at the ceiling, sorry. I don't even know how that happened. The switch camera angle button is for real down at the bottom of my camera, and I just touched the center of it, of the screen, so that it would focus on the work that I'm doing. And I don't even know, like, what is happening with this today. At the mercy of technology. My daughter would make fun of me, I'm 100% certain. Okay, so I fuzzed this one pretty good here too. And let's see, if I'm going to put it at an angle like this, I actually think. Now this I kind of want to get even. I want to make sure that my toothbrush starts at about the same distance from the edge as the top of my letter. bottom to top is similar, but also from side to side. Actually, I think that looks pretty good, because this stuff is great. You can actually wipe it off if you mess things up, except that it won't wipe off of this very easily. So I really need to be like a little more careful about how I'm setting this on here. I think the angle is a little too steep for me, actually. I just pulled up or looked at the camera and kind of think that that was a little much. I think I like it better like this. We'll see. I don't want it to be too much. Yeah, I think I like this better. So we'll do it this way. I'm just making sure it's sealed down all the way around before I pull out my paste here. Now I'm going to be using my black paste. This one's getting a little bit low. I have a backup, don't worry, for another time. We won't need it today. It looks like it's in pretty good consistency. You can see it's starting to get really low in here. I think it'll be just fine today. So I just stirred it up just a little bit, just to be sure. Set the stirrer off to the side. That stirrer is one that I have in my house. It's a cake pop stick that I don't use for cake pops, so I use it for this instead. So I'm just going to get a glob of this on my squeegee here, and then I'm just going to smear it on here. It doesn't matter if you get too much because you'll wipe the extra off anyway. Looks like this is a little bit thick, but that's alright. It'll work just fine today. You literally just smear it on like this. You make sure it gets in the silk screen really well. And then before I'm done, I'll be wiping the extra off. So this is just one transfer and one paste color to make a really cool design that we have here. So I'm scraping the extra off. Two reasons. Number one, I want to save the excess, and number two, I want a smooth surface across my design. And I put it back into my container, and then I'm going to pull the transfers up. It's that easy. Pull it top to bottom or side to side. And then I lay it in a pan of water to let some of the paste soak off until I am ready to wash them off. I wouldn't leave it in your pan for a really long time. It can mess up the adhesive, but while you're just working on your project, it's not a big deal. So there we go. One down. Looks pretty cute. I have some paste on my finger, so I'm actually going to wipe my finger real quick on a paper towel. I keep water and I keep a paper towel near me so that I can clean up when I need to. I don't want to accidentally get my finger on another part of the project and smear paste on it. Like I said, this is removable, but on this kind of surface, it's textured, it's white, and I'm using black. It could stain, and because of the texture, it might be really hard to wipe out of the indented areas. So that's one. This is brush your teeth. Oh, I like the way that turned out. Awesome. So now we're going to go on to the next one. The next one we're doing here is whatever was on top there. Wash your hands. And this one I'm going to do this way. So this might be a little more challenging to try to square this one up. I'm going to move this down and put fuzz my transfer real quick here. This is just picking up fuzz on the adhesive so that it doesn't stick so hard later when I'm trying to pull it up. I don't want to stretch my transfer out. If you pull too hard, it stretches and it just doesn't lay right the next time. It can just make it more difficult. So 3 or 4 times on here. And before I lay this one down, I'm going to see how tall my sink is. So I wonder if these will fit in here together this way. Let's just see. So if I'm laying this one down, actually it will. I think that'll work out just great too. So I don't have to square it up as much as I thought I was going to. So I'll set this one on here where I want it, and now I will fuzz this one. So brush your teeth, wash your hands, and comb your hair. That's what we're doing today. So if you're watching, can you just say hi? I see that Cynthia and Jen and Rhea are on here. If you're friends with me, it tells me when you join. If we are not personal like Facebook friends, it won't say when you joined. just say hello so I know who's with me. If you are interested in these projects that I'm doing, I have several other videos that I've done, Halloween designs and all kinds of different stuff. You can just join my page. I know you're there, Mom. You can just join my Chocolate Lady Facebook business page. And I also have a VIP page. So if you all want some tips and tricks on decorating, me to talk a little bit about Chalk Couture products and how to use them. Also, I put some deals and discounts on my VIP page as well. So if that's something you think you'd be interested in hearing about, learning about, I do ask if you're going to be a VIP member that you be a participating member. It's helpful for me if I have people who are interactive on my page. So, all right. I think I got it all sealed down there. We're doing the exact same thing as we did before. I didn't wash my squeegee. I didn't do anything to it. I just set it off to the side. This is why your paste can dry a little bit, is because you do that. You set things off to the side and then come back to it. So I'm just getting some big old glob of paste on here. Like I said, this is kind of thick. I don't normally use it this thick, but it'll be just fine today. So I'm smearing it on here and making sure it covers the silk screen really well. And like I said, this is not my design. Of course it's not. This is Chalk Couture's transfer design, but this is not my design idea of how to lay this out. I'm literally copying from our catalog exactly what they had in there. You don't have to be super creative and come up with all your own ideas to do this kind of stuff. A little bit more on here, make sure I can finish this out. And one thing to keep in mind too, I'm doing this all in one color and I'm not taking very long to do it. But if you take a really long time to do your project, sometimes the colors can dry on the silk screen. And when you pull it up, it won't pull up. The color will pull up and not stay on your surface. So to avoid that, you either work quickly or you work in sections. I'm just smoothing off the extra here. I want a smooth line on my project, so I'm going to make sure that it's smooth and not got any textured lines in it there. Alright, just going to pull it up, grab the end, never diagonally, always top to bottom or left to right, pull this up, there's my sink. Now I'm laying these in some water off to the side here to soak a little bit of the paste off. I might have put this one down. Oh, there we go. Left to right, top to bottom, not diagonally. I don't want to stretch my transfer. Alright, wash your hands. These are looking really good. Maybe that thicker paste is making it a little bit darker and show up better. I don't know. I kind of like it that way. I wouldn't use it that way all the time. But if I wanted to thin my paste down, I'll just squirt a little bit of water from a spray bottle in there and it'll thin it right down and it'll be no problem. So this is the wash your hands design. Now I've got two done. And my last one, I wanted to show you guys how they box these frames up. So if you wanted to order some, you would know this is how it comes. And another beneficial thing about these awesome box frames are you can use the back. So my intention is, with the smaller box frames, I'm ordering more of those. With my smaller box frames, I am going to do Christmas design on the white side, and then I'm going to flip it over and do a New Year's design on the back so that you can use the same board to decorate through Christmas and New Year's and not have to go get more stuff out or feel like you have to put your Christmas things away really quickly because it's not Christmas anymore. So it comes with these protective sleeves on the corner. The boxes are really nice for keeping it protected while they ship it to you. And what is this one? This one is our very last one we're going to do here, which is comb your hair. So this is the same kind of deal as the last one. I think it should line up pretty good. I'm going to do the comb at an angle as well. And I like putting my words above my design. This one I'm going to have to fix just a little bit because, if I put that right in the middle, I have the whole rest of the box frame there. So I think maybe I'll do another angle thing like I did with the toothbrush. So when it's all said and done, it'll look like this. I'm going to wait wait for the screen to show up just so I can see exactly how it's going to look. Hi Angela, I saw you hopped on here real quick. So let's see. Yeah, I think I dig that. Might move this up just a little bit closer. I think that'll work for me. So first I'll do this piece. Like I said, fuzzing my transfer, just picking up some fuzz on here so it won't stick so hard to the design. And then after I'm done, I pull everything out of my water pan over here. I take it to the sink and I wash off any extra chalk paste that's left on the surface of it. And I use my thumbs to kind of get some of the fuzz off as much as I can in the sink water. I mean, I don't take like a really long time to do it. Then I use a Clorox or like generic cleaning wipe of some sort. I'm just lining this up here real quick. Not quite even. I use a cleaning wipe to wipe the rest of the fuzz off. That's how you take care of your transfers. If you keep them really clean like that, they will last maximum amount of time on the adhesive. So I'm just going to smooth this down here where I want it to be. See, it's a little bit bubbled here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it doesn't matter. As long as it's not bubbled where the design actually is, it can have a bubble around the edge. It actually helps you get a hold of it and lift it up easier if it goes that way for you. So this is our comb. That's this piece. And as soon as I get this done, we're actually done with all three of these pieces. And I don't have a clock in here, so I don't know how long that took, but it was a really short time to do 3 really cool pieces of art to hang them up in a like collage style on your wall in the bathroom. So once again, I'm going to try to make sure that I get this even from side to side on here. Let's see. I think I kind of like that. I'll wait till it shows up on my screen here to kind of get a better feel for how that's going to look aesthetically. Yeah, I think that'll work. Alright. Oh man. Alright, since that just happened, here's a good way for me to show you. If you're trying to lay this down and make sure you don't get any bubbles in it, you can go from end to end this way, and it makes sure that you don't have a bubble in your silk screen. Sometimes it can be hard to see if you do. And if that happens, you can get a little bit of bubble in your paste when you put it on, and it's kind of noticeable. And it doesn't necessarily ruin the design or anything, but it kind of bothers me, so I try not to do that. So I'm getting the last of my black here. Oh gosh, this is super thick. The black ink is, or paste is almost gone in this container. I do have another one, but I haven't opened it yet. And I literally just got a glob of paste on the back of my finger. So my hands aren't very neat now. So I'm going to smear this on here. Like I said, this is really thick, much thicker than I would normally use it, but it'll still work, hopefully. And if I put this on here and I notice that it didn't cover some areas very good, I can always let it dry and then lay my transfer back down and do it again. So yeah, get this all on here real good. Alright, that whole area is covered. I'm going to save as much of this as I can to use down below on the comb. Alright, this should do. And this is how simple it is. You put a glob of your paste on here and you smooth this down. I mean, this is really cute. I saw this one and was super excited to get it. And at first they didn't have it available when the new transfers released, or it like sold out so quick before I even hopped on to buy it. I was bummed. But I didn't have to wait very long. Our stuff goes in and out of stock pretty quickly. They like to stay relevant, so they don't make like a huge abundance of things right away, because they're constantly updating and changing the designs so that they stay up to date on current trends for designs for stuff and everything. It's really cool. So I got it all on there, scraped off the extra. Now I'm going to pull my transfer up here. Oh, it looks like it peeled a little bit there. That's alright. And a lot of times if it's just a tiny little spot like this, it peeled a little bit of the paint up there. Maybe I didn't fuzz it as much as I should have. But I can come back in with a little paintbrush, or sometimes if it's a tiny spot, I use a toothpick and just fill in the black a little bit, and you'll never even notice that anything was amiss. Oh, did a little bit there too. That's all right. All right. I love these. I think they look fantastic. And I sell a lot of my stuff, but a lot of it I don't sell. I keep in my own home. Anybody who comes over to my house can see I have tons of stuff in my house. It's everywhere. It's not even like organized and like hanging up on things. I have things propped behind things and stuff like that. So this is what this one looks like, and I'll show you the other ones real quick in case you just hopped on and kind of missed what I was doing there a minute ago. I'm trying to wipe all this black off my finger, you guys. I got it all over me. Hi, Vonda. How are you? Thanks for joining. Coming up on 30 minutes. So I've been talking a lot too. But within 30 minutes of time, I just made 3 really cool projects. And it'll take me 10 minutes to clean it all up, and then I'm done. So here's what we got. We got the comb your hair, we got the wash your hands, and we've got the brush your teeth. These can all be hung up the way that it shows in our catalog here. And look how cool that would look. And you don't have to have a large wall to make this work. It's hung up in a collage style. So like right above the toilet. This is a small wall space. These are larger pictures, but it would look really cool in your bathroom. So I'm excited about that one. Like I said, I'm not sure if this one's going to go up for sale on my sale page, which is the Wooden Lady. I'll add it to this this posting after I get done today, so you can hop over there if you want to check it out. I have other things for sale on there. So now I'm going to move on to our next project. I think I got enough of the black off my fingers that it won't leave a big mess for me. So I keep this pan of water over here. I put my transfers in there. I also drop my squeegees in there. And I use it to wet my paper towels to clean my fingers off because I make messes all the time on myself. So this one I'm going to do is the Have Courage and Be Kind. Now, I don't know how many of you all are fans of Cinderella, but the original Cinderella cartoon is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. So when they came out with this, and then whenever they came out with the live version movie of the Cinderella, that was really exciting for me. And then they came out with this transfer, which goes along with that. This is something that her mother tells her before she passes. Have courage and be kind. I think it's a great motto for life. So anyway, I'll be using this one today. This one can be a little bit trickier because it's got a lot of little bits on it. So I want this to look a specific way. So I'm going to do this in parts. The first part I'm going to do is the Have Courage and Be Kind words. And then I'm going to come back in with a couple of other colors, 3 other colors to do the leaves and the flowers. So one of my colors that I really like right now for fall is called Current Jam. It actually comes with the starter kit. So I'm doing the same thing with this transfer that I've done with the others, which is to fuzz it. Let me move this down so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to fuzz this transfer, pick up fuzz on it so it doesn't stick too much. And then I'm going to lay this in here as evenly as I can, top to bottom and side to side. Sometimes it doesn't work out exactly the way you want it to. And you just lift it up and lay it back down again. Yeah, like Angela just said, one of the great things about this is you can make stuff pretty quick. Like, I don't have an unlimited amount of time right now. My youngest son is asleep, or supposed to be. I think he went to sleep pretty early today. Like, unbelievably, he actually said, I'm tired, is it nap time? Which is not something he does normally. He's 3 years old, so that's unusual. So he must have been super tired today. We were building Mega Block robots today. And trying to play the game Guess Who, but he's so little he just doesn't get it. I like to play games with him, but oh my gosh, sometimes it's hard. Whew. I know how many of y'all have small kids. It's like the sacrifices parents make, not show how frustrated you are. He has fun, and that's the important part. I just noticed that there's a little like flake of something under there that was keeping that from laying down the way it should be. The rest of it seems pretty good though. I'm just gonna make sure it's adhered well. And like I said, first thing we're gonna do, have courage and be kind. I have a hairdryer off to the side here that I keep beside me when I do just about any project, especially when I'm doing it live, so you guys don't have to wait as long on me to do stuff. So first thing we're gonna do, have courage and be kind. Because I'm gonna be needing to get into these smaller spaces between here without touching this on everything, I'm gonna use my multi-tool today to get that spread on there evenly in those areas anyway. And this is one I haven't opened. This is one of our newer colors. Like I said, this comes with the starter kit whenever you order your starter kit now. Let me show you guys something. This is what we used to get. You can see the difference in container size here. This is what used to come with the starter kit. This is what comes with the starter kit now. So you actually get a lot more for the money than what you used to. It's pretty cool. Same price. It's like 50% more comes in this container. So this isn't going to come off very easily, which is frustrating when you're trying to use it, but good about shipping and getting to you, and you know that it's fresh and not dried up and stuff. I'm going to use a toothpick. I also keep these next to me to correct simple mistakes if necessary. Just little tips and tricks I've learned along the way. I've only been doing this since February. I signed on to this company as a hobby, and it's just taken off for me. So like, I'm turning this into a career, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's going really well so far. All right, since I'm doing this live in front of you guys, I won't worry about getting all of this off. Oh, well, that was okay. And I'm just setting this off to the side on my table. I really don't care if my table gets chalk paste on it, because it wipes off so quickly. It's so simple to clean up. So I'm just going to wet my fingers, make sure I'm not getting the color on anything I don't want it on. Paper towels, man, always keep them nearby. I'll give this a stir because it's a new container, but the consistency already looks really good to me. They developed a new formula recently, so the paste consistencies are a little bit smoother than what they used to be, which is pretty awesome, but it still dries that chalk finish, that matte, chalky finish that everybody loves about our chalk paste. All right, we're good to go. Like I said, I'm doing the have courage and be kind words in this current jam. And then I'm doing green for the leaves, and then I have pumpkin pie and school bus yellow. School bus yellow is not a color that they make anymore, but marigold is a great substitute for that. And then we also have here the evergreen color. That is a color that we don't make anymore. Garden herb would be a good substitute for that if you're looking in the catalog now. So I'm just going to get some of this on here, and I'm going to smooth it over here, concentrating a lot on the areas that I'm trying to get close to the other things but not touch them with it. And I'm just trying to make sure that it gets into the silkscreen. And this will take me longer. The reason I'm going to do this in pieces is because this is going to take me longer to do. And I don't want my paste drying on my work before I get to the next part. So I will put this down on here, then I will peel up the transfer, dry my board, and then lay the transfer back down and do the flowers and the greenery. So I'm going to use another squeegee to smooth this out. Just want to get this on here. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. Questions about how this works, or how you can do this, or about ordering, or anything like that, just please ask. I'm checking my comments periodically, so I apologize if I'm not answering you right away, but I will look at them. And if I miss something while I'm doing the live, I always go back through it afterward, so I will absolutely get back to you one way or another. Oh, that was kind of close. I almost got my leaf there. Another reason why I'm doing it this way, peeling it up, is because it just takes longer when you're trying to avoid certain areas because they're so close to the other designs. Now this would also look really cute if you just did a solid color. I just wanted to do multiple colors for fall. So I'm gonna grab another squeegee and smooth this out. These are squeegee pieces that I've cut. And this will help me scrape off the extra here. And once I do this, I'm gonna pull it up, dry it off, and then come back to it to do the greenery and the flowers. All right, fill this up. Ooh, cute. Looks like I had a little bit of a bubble there, but I really don't mind it. I think it looks kind of cool. And that's another thing. Somebody was just saying on one of my pages, like, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. Nobody knows it's a mistake unless you tell them. So I meant to do that. That's what I meant to say. So let me get this going here. I am going to throw the lid on my container real quick because it can dry out, and why have it do that if I can avoid it? So this is Current Jam. I really like this color. It's like a berry maroon almost. So this will take a couple of minutes to dry. While I'm doing this, I can talk to you about the company a little bit. So I joined the company as a hobby, and I saw someone post a video similar to what you're watching right now, and I fell in love with what she was doing. And because I'm super crafty already, and I love to do stuff, but I don't have a ton of time, like I said, I have kids and we're busy a lot, this seemed like the perfect thing for me. So I was like, ooh, I want to do that. So I signed up just to get the discount and to work as a hobbyist. But it quickly blew up because it's so popular and people seem to really like what I was doing. I decided to turn it into a business. So it's $99 to sign up. You get a starter kit which comes with 8 transfers and 5 of these full-size paste containers. I believe right now you get white, storm, which is our gray color. You get the Current Jam that I just showed you, and peacock. And then there's one other color that I cannot think of. Maybe bumblebee. I'm not sure. You get 5 colors though altogether. And then the 8 transfers, they vary. I think they just switched it up because we just released a holiday suite, which is 25 new holiday transfers that are mostly Christmas, but also have New Year's and Valentine's Day mixed in with all that. They have one that's really cute. It's a quote by Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. So if that's something that you guys like, you might be interested in that one. Right off the top of my head, I can't even think of it either. But anyway, so if you're interested in doing something like that, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. This should just about be dry. If it's not dry and you lay your transfer back down, you could actually peel up what you've already laid down, and I don't want to do that. So I just want to be certain that it's 100% dry. I think that'll probably be good. Let me double check. You can tell if it's dry. It'll have a different appearance, be a little bit glossy looking, and this dries completely matte. So if you see any gloss left on your paste color, that means that you that it's not 100% dry. So I was hoping I might be able to get some of that up right there, but it looks like it's not, so I'm not going to worry about it. The next colors I'm using are Garden Herb, Bumblebee, and Pumpkin Pie, and like I said, they don't make these 2 small ones anymore. The Evergreen, I said Garden Herb, Evergreen and School Bus Yellow. So let me move on. Now they have one called Garden Herb and another called Marigold, or one called Bumblebee. So Bumblebee or Marigold, either one would be a good fit for this, and the Garden Herb would be a good replacement for this one. I'm just using these because this is what I still have. And our Pumpkin Pie is a brand new color that is really fun. It looks like a little bit of this is still wet around the edges on the outside, but the silk screen itself is dry. So I'm going to line this right back up where it was and lay it back down and then finish this design. And if you get it lined up in one spot really well, like I'm only looking at the have word, soon as I try to lay it down, my thumb sticks to it and it pulls it. There we go. Not quite there. That'll work. Alright. Now I'm going to smooth it around the flowers and the greenery. I don't really care if it's adhered that well where the other lettering is because I've already done that part. Also, some of that is still a little bit wet and I don't want to smear that on there. I can come back in with this and kind of make sure it's smoothed down so I don't actually touch it with my finger by accident. Fat fingers. So I'm just smoothing this design down, making sure it's laid flat so I don't get any bubbles in my flowers or my greenery. It's going to take me longer to do the green, so I'm going to do the green first. Then I'm going to come back in and touch up with my yellow and my orange. Alright, green. I'm going to use my little pieces too. This is a small squeegee that I cut apart. So this is a small squeegee, one of our old ones. And I cut it into smaller pieces. So I have several small little pieces from different ones that I cut apart that I can use for these things. I'll start with my green. I just used this recently, so it should have a good consistency. I'll give it a stir just to be sure. Little thicker than I want. I'm going to add a little bit of water over here off to the side. I usually keep a spray bottle in here, but I forgot today, so I'm just using water from my pan, just kind of dripping it in there a little bit. Alright. Set this off to the side. I'm just going to use one of my bigger small squeegees here. Glob a group on here. I'm going to try to avoid these little dots because I want to try to make those like orange. So get right up on this. If I get some of the dots, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to try not to. I just like to use lots of color, and because fall's coming up, I thought this would be a cool design to do with some extra fall colors, make the flowers fall. I gotta be careful because this one might dry on me. The very first one I do might dry while I'm working the rest of it. So I don't need to get in too big of a hurry. I don't want to ruin my design, but also I don't want to have it dry because that would just be an extra step for me to have to come back in and go over it again to fix the spots that it's stuck to the transfer. I considered doing 2 green shades, but I was like, you know what, I think that might be a little bit too much. So I'm just smearing this in here, making sure it covers the silk screen area real good. Like I said, if I get some of the dots, I'm not going to cry over it. I don't think it'll be all that noticeable, to tell you the truth. Alright, covering that. And here's another thing right here. I want to do this flower orange. So I'm just going to cover the stem, and then I'll come back and do the rest of it. Ooh, getting close there. Like I said, I might look at it and go, you know what, I'm just going to cover all that in green and don't worry about it. Moving along as quickly as I can here so that I can not have it dry on my thing and pull up. I can come back in and fix it. It's just an extra step that I don't want to have to do. Whenever it dries in there, you just got to kind of let the whole thing dry and then lay your transfer back down again and try again. Almost done with this part. Then we'll move on to the yellow and the orange. The orange should be pretty easy. I'm just doing the 2 large flowers that are attached to that stem I just colored. And then I am doing the little bitty flowers in the yellow and the dots in orange. is really, I find this super relaxing. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm crafting, I just get into like this super relaxed mode. It's fun. I like doing it. I like it when it looks good after. Sometimes it doesn't look as great as I wanted it to whenever I'm finished, but actually I think I'll do the yellow last. Ooh, I just realized I didn't get my little stem here. Better hop back on and get this. Or it won't match the other part. Alright, there we go. Moving along, I'll do yellow last. Put the pumpkin dots on there real quick and get my little flowers here. This is pumpkin pie that I'm using. Get all these little dots here. And a lot of times if you're working on something and you don't want a part of it to dry, you can actually take a wet paper towel and lay on the part that you're trying to keep damp while you're working on the rest of it, and that'll help. If I'm working like a large project on a large transfer, I actually will just cut it apart. Even though it doesn't come that way, I'll just cut it in an area where I think I can like have the most leeway for not blending my paste colors and not getting off the transfer too much. So here we go. Almost done with the orange, and I'll pop this yellow down here and we'll pull it up. Alright. Oh, one more dot on my orange. Almost missed it. Lastly, do those little flowers in yellow, and then I'm totally done with this. We'll pull it up. I can already see that the green is starting to dry over here, so I don't know what this is going to look like when I pull it. I might have to lay it back down. But this is very forgiving type of craft, so any mistake can pretty much be fixed. Alright, there we go. I'll pull this just like I did the first time, and we'll see what we got. Yeah, it looks like my leaves kind of dried on there. It's because my paste color was a little bit dry to start with, so it dried really quickly. And I'll come back in and fix that. Then I can just go back over the green again, and it's like it didn't even happen. So this is what it looks like right now. I won't do it live because I actually need to wash my transfer off to do that again, because some of the paste is dried on the silk screen there. I think it looks pretty cute anyway, and as soon as I get it finished, I'll take a picture and post on my page so you guys can see. I think it turned out really cute. So once again, here's the designs we made today. This is the Have Courage and Be Kind. You can see it kind of came off a little here and there. We did our Comb Your Hair and Wash Your Hands. And lastly, Brush Your Teeth. So these are our awesome designs. I've been on here for an hour, maybe less, and I made 4 projects that I can either keep or give away as gifts. And it's just really fast to make this. And if I wanted to buy a whole bunch of these surfaces, I can knock out a bunch of these, especially these. These went really fast. You know, within like an hour and a half, I could make enough gifts to give everybody in my family if I wanted to, with the simplicity of this stuff. So if you're interested, let me know. I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions or anything like that, please message me. If you want to join my VIP group, I will also get you added to that. So just let me know what you'd like to do. I appreciate you watching today. Y'all have a nice afternoon.